Increased enforcement across the nation and the promise of a new executive order early next week. It's been an interesting week in immigration in the United States. My name is Marty Lester. Today is February 17, 2017, and we're reviewing some of the top immigration stories of the week. The major story this week has been increased enforcement. Specifically, we've seen 4 separate incidents across the United States. The question is whether these are independent and isolated incidents or whether they're signs of things to come. Out in Seattle was the case of Daniel Medina, a DACA student who was detained at his father's house and has now been placed into removal proceedings. ICE claims that he admitted that he was a gang member. He disputes that. The courts will have to decide that. In Denver, a mother of 4 has chosen to seek sanctuary in the basement of a church rather than check in with ICE when she believed, as it turns out rightly, that she was likely to be removed. In Virginia, 6 men were detained by ICE leaving a cold weather shelter in the northern Virginia area. Typically, up until now, ICE has not entered churches, shelters, and other places of sanctuary, although there is no law that prevents them from doing that. And finally, and maybe most troubling, in El Paso, ICE agents at a courthouse arrested a domestic violence victim immediately after she finished testifying against her abuser. We have typically told people that when they are the victims of crimes, they should report those to law enforcement because law enforcement is more interested in catching criminals who are harming the community than undocumented immigrants. We will see whether that turns out to still be the case in the future. Whether or not these are isolated incidents or whether these are really signs of things to come, everyone should have a safety plan in place for the security of their homes and their children. And everyone should know their rights. For our Spanish-speaking watchers, on our Spanish language website, www.tenemosderechos.info, you'll find lots of information posted about knowing your rights. Finally, although the courts have banned the president's ban, the president has promised a new executive order is coming early next week. We don't know exactly what's in it yet, but at the very least, I expect that it will cover the 7 Muslim majority nations from before and possibly will do more. If you have questions about immigration issues, if you need assistance, if we can be of any service, please feel free to contact our office at 423-402-0608 or online at www.lesterlaw.org. Again, this is Marty Lester from the offices of Lester Law in Hickson, Tennessee. We'll talk to you next week.